Hi guys, my name is Gabrielle Robinson.
And my name is Vanessa Liu, and we are your co-hosts of the Life Unfiltered podcast.
Today we have another special guest. It is a student, and instead of being from Troy Athens, she's from Troy High.
Yay!
So welcome, Blessing. We are so thrilled to have you, and we cannot wait to hear your insight.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Can you introduce us to who you are and some things you're involved with?
Hi, I'm Blessing Botsmike. I am a Troy High senior. I'm involved with pretty much everything. I am a Creative Guild producer. I am in Troy High student government. I'm in Model UN, ASL club, and I am on the girls water polo team and synchronized swimming team.
Wow, you're very involved.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I know that you are new to the Troy School District, your freshman year. Can you talk about the biggest challenge that you faced finding your place and also how you navigated through this experience?
I moved to the Troy School District like 2 months into my freshman year. I originally lived in Southfield and I went to Cass Tech, but I moved here because my mom figured that I needed a fresh start, especially after my dad's passing. So I moved here, and the one thing I really struggled with was loneliness. Everyone in my freshman year, everyone had their group of people. They had like their group of friends, and I felt like such an outsider my freshman year. So like it took like a freshman biology class in a lab where we had to like cut open a rat, unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember that.
Unfortunately, that is what took me to meeting my now best friends.
Aw, that's kind of like a cute little story, though.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So can you talk more about your experiences with making friends?
Yeah, so that freshman biology class, I think we all could say that we all had like pretty much like creative experiences there. But like I kind of like was kind of the outsider because a lot of people in that classroom had friends there. With that project, we had to like spend time with each other outside of school. So us getting outside of the classroom setting, we got to learn more about each other, especially like outside experiences, like living, sports that we liked. I found a friend who we both ended up playing basketball together and doing water polo together, and we found out that we had like a lot of similar experiences. I think that's what ultimately led us to being really good friends now.
Yeah. Do you think the Troy School District was welcoming to you when you first came with like the students and the staff?
Yeah, the staff, they were like really overly nice. Like I was like, they were so nice. I was like, is this real? Or like, I was like, okay, wow, you people are like really nice and you're always smiling. So like, I feel like I kind of found comfort in that specifically, but also like how like special like clubs, how like they allowed you to like when you could join at any period. So like when you joined, you could always find like a new experience or a new person to connect to.
Yeah. So your senior year can be stressful at times with all the responsibilities and decisions ahead. So what are some of the specific strategies you've used to stay resilient and manage stress?
Gosh, senior year is probably has been the hardest year out of all of high school. It wasn't just like college apps, like the general stuff. I think it was like I finally had to like realize, okay, I need to like manage my time, because usually I like would find a day and I would just like be lazy, but then I would like wait until like the very last minute to like deal with stuff. Now I realized like, okay, I have to have time management now. So like on top of that, I had finally like started to have responsibilities. So like working a job, still staying involved with my clubs, playing the sports that I liked, and also like dealing with like school homework. So like one thing that like that helped me with my stress was just remembering like breathing, like, hey, like you can do this, like you signed yourself up for it, obviously, but like you can do it, and you just need to like chill out and also manage what you can handle. Don't take on too much to the point where you're not getting any sleep, which is something I kind of struggled with the first couple months.
I think some of us can all like kind of, relate to that. Yeah. So I know you're really involved. Can you tell us how you manage burnout?
Yeah, burnout, I experienced that a lot. How I manage it is obviously with my support system, my mom specifically. When I have too much on my plate, she's the one who like reminds me like, you kind of need to take a break. Like you, even if it's like a day off from school or like saying no to something. She's like the person who's like brings me kind of back to reality, and she's like, you can't be ripping and running all the time.
Right.
And she's also like the person who makes it easier for me to manage all this stuff. So like she'll like drop off like dinner for me if I'm like at a game and I'm like gonna be there until like 10:30.
Oh, that's sweet.
She'll drop off dinner, or she's like, don't forget you have to turn in that assignment. I'm like, oh yeah, I did have that assignment. So
that's
like,
very relatable. Yeah.
so like she's like that, and like the community that I'm surrounded with, like they're the entire reason why I'm kind of still going with senior year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Can you talk more about what your plans are for college?
So I plan on majoring in international relations and public policy. After bachelor's, I do want to go to law school for international law. I've always been interested in human rights. So a lot of the time during junior year, I did volunteering, which was like a clothing drive for church in Africa. So we finally delivered that stuff the summer of my junior year. So I got to experience and see the humanitarian aid needed like across the globe. So like that's kind of what I want to focus on outside of school.
Wow, that's pretty
That's
cool.
really cool. Yeah.
Thank
How
you.
did you get in contact with like doing that?
My mom, we go to a church where we deal with a lot of African refugees there because we are African also. A member of the church started this nonprofit, and I was really like, okay, I really like want to do this. So we started the clothing drive, and I kind of expanded it a little bit into the school district because some teachers, they were like, you can set up boxes in our classroom and we'll promote it.
sweet.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
I did that, and then after collecting all of it and doing that, we planned a trip, and we were like, okay, we're gonna go to Ghana and let's deliver it. And we also did money, so we did books for a class, like classes there too.
That's so
That's
cool.
so
Yeah.
cute.
So like I'm hearing all of these amazing things that you do. How do you have time? Like how do you time manage?
Gosh, a lot of the time I'm like double booked. Like, so like I'll like go to school, and then once like that 2:10 is like hits, I'm like sprinting out of the like school parking lot because like I have to go to work. So like 2:45 I go to work, and then I have practice at 6, so I usually leave work a half hour early and I go to practice, and then like 8:30 I'm done with practice and I am leaving practice and I'm going to go do a meeting for something. So like I think the only thing that helps with like time management is having a good support system. Obviously your parents or your friends, they are really the ones who can support you, but also like using your resources. I use my phone a lot, and like I have like a lot of reminders. I heavily depend on Google Calendar.
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
just
Yeah,
downloaded
me too.
that,
I
and it's
heavily
been so
depend on
helpful.
that. Like that, and like the 30 minutes before the class, like don't forget you like you needed to do that assignment. I was like, yeah, I totally did it, and I'm like in the media center like getting
Quickly
that
doing it.
Yeah.
So like that is like the only thing that's really been helping me with time management.
Okay,
Yeah,
amazing.
that's good. So, what water polo and synchronized swimming require not only physical strength but also mental fortitude. How have these sports shaped you to approach your stress and challenges in your life outside of athletics?
Gosh, synchronized swimming and water polo. Besides having to devote time to like the skills part of it, I feel like me as a anxious person, I like always like am like the nerves before like a game or like a match. I'm like I used to be like heavily stressing, and I like had to like I had to like ask my coaches for like some ways to help with that stress. So like I tried coloring books. That was the first thing like my water polo coach told me. He's like, try like coloring in a coloring book before, and I was like, this is so boring. No, I literally can't do this.
Yeah.
So like I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it, like try how I deal with other things like before a big test. I like to pray, obviously, but I also like to just sit in silence. Like I don't like to hear anything around me. So like I might like have my headphones in, but it's just like either white noise or like empty silence, and like I can't hear anyone, but like it's getting me in like the zone where I'm not stressing, and I'm like finding a calm balance that like prepares me to like finally like go into net and realize like, hey, like just like even if they shoot at you and like you didn't get the shot. It's okay. Like, you have another try. Like, that's really been helping me. I also like journaling, but
Yeah,
like I
I do
love
too.
journaling because like it like I kind of get to like it finally makes me realize like I need to get a clear mindset. I write down like everything that's going on in the day, and I like realize like this was not something you really needed to stress out about. Like it's been 5 hours. You're not even thinking about it. Like at the time you were like stressing, but like it's out of the way now. So,
Right.
yeah.
And like the beautiful thing about life is like you have tomorrow, you know,
Yeah.
you wake up, you have a new day. So anything that stressed you about yesterday, you don't have to carry it into the next
Right.
day.
Yeah,
So.
you always have like another opportunity to try it again and like keep going.
Right. Yeah. So reflecting on your high school journey, what is one piece of advice you would give to your freshman self?
That everything will work itself out and everything will be
Yeah.
okay. Cause oh my gosh, freshman year, I feel like for those first 3 months I was here, I was like, gosh, I hate it here. Like, why am I in? Well, out of all places I moved to, why here? But like, I feel like the little freshman version of me, she just needed to trust that everything will be fine and you'll find your people. Because like for the longest, I was like, gosh, I quite literally can't stand it here, but it is okay. Like I would be like, it's okay. You're gonna find your balance and you're gonna find a community that you didn't really think you would like ever get to have your freshman year or for the rest of the 4 years that you have. And also get your time management skills better because junior year was rough.
Oh, I feel
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
So if you guys heard of AP Research, I took AP Research and we have like deadlines to meet, like the intro, lit review, da da da. When I tell you that paper was submitted the day before it was due on the College Board, yeah.
I can't imagine doing AP research. I thought AP World History was rough, but like that sounds horrible.
I actually really liked it
Because
though. It
people
was
are
rewarding.
like, I like hear from like my friends that take it. They're like, oh, I have like 4,000 a 4,000 page essay due, and they're like, oh, I have to get this done. Like procrastinated too long, and I'm like, better you than me. Like, better you than me.
Do you see like the binders of papers they have?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah,
What even
we
is
have
that?
to read. Okay, so like you get a packet, right? And you have to find your own research because that's like your research paper.
Yeah.
So you have to find a gap in research. So you have to find other credible research to, you know, like give yourself credibility.
So
you
a
have
lot
to
of reading.
Yeah, you have to read through everyone else's research and then find a gap. So that's those big binders. It's like literally
Wow.
researches of pages that you have to read and annotate. Crazy.
That is
but-
crazy.
That actually does sound kind of horrible. And I
Yeah.
thought like the little packet in AP Lit was like, oh, I don't like annotating.
Right.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah. No, but I liked it though. It was rewarding. Like I like psychology. I took AP psychology and I didn't really after the class like I could never do anything in
it?
psychology.
Yeah.
So then taking AP research and then researching something about psychology was really fun. So.
I'm in AP Psych now.
Me too.
I really like it. Are you like getting ready for the AP exam?
I think
'Cause,
like we're on one of our last units, I think. So,
yeah. Are you like on the personality disorders? That's what we're on, and I'm like,
We are, yes.
I'm like,
we are.
I'm like, so what's the difference between OCD and this
Oh
again?
my gosh,
I'm
wait.
like,
There's so many terms that literally are so similar. It's like off
Yeah.
by like a few words, and I'm just like,
and she's like, oh, like what's the difference? I'm like, they're the same. Like
The way
gist
that I
of it.
remembered, like, okay, this is actually sounds really bad. So I would like the different like personality disorders. I would associate them to like characters in like TV
Oh, and, like,
shows.
TV shows.
Yeah,
That's
and so
smart.
then like whenever I thought of like I don't know Eeyore, like I'd be like, okay, Eeyore is like very sad all the time. Like what does he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's kind of how I remembered, and then it helped because like you know you can't like use any of your notes or anything.
Yeah.
But if you remember some of like your favorite childhood show, like try to
Yeah.
associate whatever you can with that, and then you're just gonna fly through the questions.
Yeah, I should probably start.
Yeah.
I should probably start doing that.
No, I need
'Cause,
to start
like
too.
I literally just look at the notes before the test. I'm just like, we're just gonna wing it.
exactly. And I feel like you are focusing the most of the year, then you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So
You
if
got
if
it.
you don't, good luck to you. Truly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But getting back on track, do you have advice for juniors who are going through this, kind of rigorous year?
Yeah, honestly, trusting the process. I know we like a lot of the time juniors are stressing out about the SAT, just remember, guys, you can retake it over the summer. Like,
They're taking it right now.
like they're literally taking it right now. I literally texted my friend before. She was like stress studying last night. I was like, put that book away. You're not gonna remember anything by tomorrow morning. I'm just like, you can always retake it, but also you probably will know everything, especially if you like paid attention most of your junior and sophomore year. Like, you'll know it. The math, you'll eventually find out. Like, they have formulas. You'll do great. Obviously, you always get another opportunity to do it again. You can always retake it, but also just like have peace of mind. Like, float between that two worlds. Like, don't go into like, don't take like, don't drink 3 Celsiuses the day before. Like, that's something I did.
Are you speaking from experience?
That's what I did. I had like 2 Celsiuses before, and I was kind of like, okay, I can hear my own thoughts right now. Like, I should really be focusing on this test right now. So, like, don't do that. But also, like, find peace in the fact that, like, you'll obviously get to retake it. But also, colleges aren't focusing only on your SAT.
Right.
They're trying to, they also want to see, like, how diverse you are. Like, your experiences, the activities you do, the people you surround yourself with. Like, that's what they want to hear about, not about a test that you took last April.
Right.
So like, I think that's what juniors really should be like, should prioritize, not the test itself.
Yeah. And I think like for all like the scholarships that I applied for college, none of them asked like for my SAT scores. Even when I was applying, like they didn't even ask for my SAT scores. So it's literally like, but they have like a whole section of like what you do, like knowing more about you to like pick the difference between you and someone else.
100%.
So I think that that's some really good advice that you gave.
Yeah, like all of the scholarships I applied for and all the schools I applied for, like most of them I didn't even submit my SAT score for. I was like, they mostly wanted to hear about who I am now and how I've changed over the last 4 years. Right. Not about the number that I got on the SAT. Like, I only submitted it to like 2 schools. So like, I was like, just like go into it with an open mind and don't stress about the college applications, period. Because you have all of summer to do it. Like, don't worry about it. Same thing with the SAT. They are not worried about it. You have like a bunch of time to like worry about that, but also manage it. So yeah.
Can you speak on the importance of having a community around you, whether it's teammates, peers, or mentors, and how has the support that helped you maintain a positive outlook, especially during difficult times?
Yeah, the community that I have, not only like my family, but also like friends and mentors in many different aspects, have had such a big impact on me, especially when it comes to like how I approach things, not only in a game experience, but also life. So, for example, like I have my teammates, like they are the most supportive people ever, especially when I'm like so down in between, like it's like halftime and I'm like, I'm doing horrible. Like, we should probably take me out. They're like, they're so reassuring. They're like, Blessing, you're doing fine. Like, we're only down by 2. You need to relax. Like, you are okay. You're doing so great. But like, they're the reason why I keep going and why I kept doing the sport. Because at one point, I think we all athletes go through that period where we're like, maybe I should quit. So like, we all go through that period. So they're like the people that keep me going. And even with like mentors, they're the people that I go to when I like need to find clarity. And they're also the people who talk me out of the decisions I made. They're like, you should not be taking 6 APs your senior year. Let's be real. So like, they're the people that talk me down from 6 to 3. So they're like the people who like give me clarity, but also like my biggest supporters. And I'm like so grateful to have a community and to have found one. If you struggle to find a community, I know it's hard to say for everybody, but you just have to be open. And I know that some people struggle with that. So I think you have to figure it out, honestly. But like, yeah, I think openness is really the only thing that can really help with finding a community.
Yeah. So with all your responsibilities, how do you decide when to say no to something? Are there any boundaries you've set in order to protect your mental health and maintain balance?
Saying no. I literally just figured out like how to do that. The person who really like drilled it through my head that like you have to say no was my mom. She was like, you can't do everything. You can't be everywhere all at once. Like, even if you try, you know you can't. So she was the person who really like got me into saying no more. But the boundaries that I've set with like protecting like my mental health is like, you can't talk to me after 8 o'clock. Like, I'm like my phone is probably shut off, and like the only form of contact with me is like email because I'm on my iPad watching Netflix. So like I've set boundaries specifically for that. Also like taking rest days. Like I feel like everyone in our school district specifically, everyone's trying to do everything because the later goal is college. And it's just like some days you need a break. You can't always be at school, you can't always be at that club or doing that sport or doing that paper you're supposed to do. Sometimes you need to be like, okay, I need a break, I'm exhausted, I can take a break from school and still keep the grades that I have. So ensuring rest days and also breathing, I found out like meditating actually helps. It's not just something the doctor tells you and it's like you should do it. It actually kind of helps. It helps you find a balance between like stress and the outside world, but also your inner part of you that you ultimately need to be protecting.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you have any lasting words of wisdom to our audience?
Just find balance, obviously, but also like protect your peace of mind. Don't let the outside world influence who you are specifically, and don't let like stress always get to you. I wish I could say that ultimately like stress doesn't get to me, but like finding peace and like resources to help me with it has been the thing that like has helped me the most.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your advice today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and that was cool listening about your transition from, a school like Cass Tech over to Troy High.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like a very different atmosphere. So it's pretty cool that you were able to find your community and just figure out your place in all of this. So yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being a guest.
And you guys know where to find us on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube at live.unfilteredpod. And thank you so much once again for being on.
Thank you.
And also, guys, remember to fill out the Google form in our bio or DM the Life Unfiltered account on Instagram.
Yes, thank you so much for listening.
We're your co-hosts,
Vanessa Liu
and Gabrielle Robinson. And always remember to embrace the mess and live life unfiltered. Bye, guys.